September 22nd. Happy Mabon, or fall equinox, if that's more in line with you. Grab a coffee and let's talk about a realistic utopia of a fair society. Today, I want to take a deeper look into the question why Rawls' list of basic liberties only includes a very limited set of economic freedoms. At first, I bring up his ideas and arguments, only then I'll add my thoughts that came up when reading his writing. There are in particular two discussions I want to have here. About the concept of property that's embedded in the dataset we are all using unconsciously in our personal world generation process, and how it limits our approach to possible solutions, and about the limitation of human motivation to solely the personal benefit expressed in the bottom line. But I warn already that these discussions will happen only in the following days, as Thea Longer and I want to give Rawls his due, since his work is the foundation I want us all to stand on for our discussions and debates. So, Rawls' very limited set of economic freedoms. Actually, he ever only mentioned two: the freedom to occupational choice and the right to own personal property. Personal property wherein is very narrowly defined as a right to own personal possessions and to have control over one's living space. So it's not like owning the apartment building that you are renting out. It's about your personal living space. Rawls rejects any notion that the freedom of exchange is on par with or should even take priority over personal freedom and political equality. So that basically covers the economy. The problem if you give wide-ranging economic freedom such a strong priority, it severely limits what the state can do to address poverty or inequality. Read in the state as all. Because the state really is just the group of people that are coming together in it and giving themselves a social contract in which they define what data they will choose to use from now on in their word generation processes, in their individual word generation processes. And so the state is us, and we then cannot really address poverty and inequality or even regulate markets in order to promote economic growth. Questions about taxation and property should depend on how we can best promote the ideas of economic justice as it is defined in Rawls' second principle. The idea that social and economic inequalities are only justified under two conditions. First, they are to be attached to positions and offices open to all under conditions of fair opportunity. And second, they are to be to the greatest benefit of the least advantaged member of a society. In the end, it goes back to how Rawls defines truly basic liberties as fundamental and inalienable. Inalienable includes, as I have shown in an earlier post, that the right is given to the individual but truly benefits and belongs to the collective. Something that goes back to the motivation any member of a society ever agreed to, out of which every member of a society ever agreed to submit to the social contract and align their individual word generation processes of the model of the world by using a common data set. The ability to engage in random searches to get their high payoff while their high risk for the individual is offset. If the balance between a remaining wide variety of a self-generated worlds and their degree of alignment necessary to cooperate on the agreed level isn't kept for each and every member, the whole group is robbed of the benefit of the random searches the members can't conduct. Some members can't conduct, or all members can't conduct. So a right is basic only when it protects this subtle balance for all at all times. It is never enough when a right offsets the risk only for some members, even when this group represents the majority. For the rest of the members who are not in this group, whom the risk is offset, the high risk of random searches, their motivation to be part of the group isn't accomplished, even if they only entered the group because they wanted to do these random searches and get the high payoff possible. So they grow resentful and will not continue voluntarily to use the common dataset. Moreover, though, the group loses their fines of those people who can't engage in random searches but have to resort to exploring existing knowledge. They lose their fines from random searches, what makes the overall search of a group less random. So even the risk, whose own risk is offset, does not get completely what they want out of the deals they have entered. Resentment happens in them as well, what leads to a detachment from the agreed upon dataset for them as well. They too start to use more of their own data and less of those that has been agreed upon. People generating unaligned models or less aligned models of the world in their minds have no common basis to cooperate anymore, as they are in literally different realities and was unable to form common goals. It's quite logical, right? You can't form a common goal when you don't even see the same problems because your reality is different. The society either breaks apart, or some, maybe even as a majority decision, resort to the use of violence to force everyone to stick to the agreement because the deal apparently benefits them, even though it doesn't really benefit anyone anymore. But some people think they get riches out of it. Either way, the outcome is not good and most definitely not fair. So basic liberties are those rights and freedoms, and only those that we need in order to live freely and play our part in society, what for the least of us still means leaning securely into the unknown and exploring what can be found there, even when the search will more often than not be unsuccessful. The person still has a right in the community to engage in researches again and again and again. That's why they entered the contract like everyone else. There are also those rights and freedoms that can be reformulated as obligations and responsibilities each member of a society has in regard to any other member, without losing their universal correctness. Wide-ranging economic freedoms don't pass this test, and therefore they are not in Roe's list of basic freedoms and liberties and rights. What are your thoughts? Tell me, tell all. I will be live tonight again on TikTok while I prep our dinner and talk again about this ideas and maybe go a little bit deeper into this. There are some points that I have left off, so this video will not be too long. There will be no new video tomorrow or no live TikTok tomorrow night because I go to Deborah Hockness reading and I'm so happy to meet her. And but we will see each other again on Tuesday. Until then, bye.